possession.
Indeed.
So important. I'm looking early here, Tim, at the veteran, Silas Demery, how he sets the table for UConn. Talked about it, very important game, getting off to a good start. So important for the Huskies.
A great crew, John Gaffney, Pat Driscoll, Greg Evans calling today's festivities. A little jump hook does not fall. Gold's pass, though, goes awry, and it's taken away by Caravan.
Possession so very important against this UConn team. They're not a fast team. They're not going to get out and break next speed, but you can't give them extra chances.
Reed, beautiful dish. Well done by Demery. We talked to Mike Nardi, one of the assistants in from Villanova, of course, great player in his own right. Joined Danny's staff this past year. He said Demery's defense has really ignited this team. I don't think there's any question. He is the really big success story addition to this UConn team.
Yeah, you need, when you have a successful big, it starts with the guards. Demery, right on cue, inside to Terrace Reed, and this is a UConn team. They understand Terrace Reed is only as good as his guards will allow him to be. That starts with Demery, not just defensively, but offensively as well, as you saw there.
Gold with that dribble handoff. Tough shot, well defended by Mullins that time. Got a piece of it too, and here's solo ball.
Mullins has continued to get better off the dribble offensively and moving his feet on the defensive end every single game for the Huskies. You saw it there.
Mullins. Halfway down the cylinder and out, but Reed with a nice find and a beautiful pass on the cut to Mullins.
Probably doesn't get enough credit, Terrace Reed, for his ability to not just make a pass, but his vision, understanding where the pass needs to come from, where it's going to. Big.
Yeah, Gold, Candy Golden from downtown, breaks up a three. And 2 minutes gone by, it's a 4-3 UConn lead.
That's huge for Ben Gold and Marquette, stretching Terrace Reed out, making him a little bit more uncomfortable away from the hoop.
Get our keys to the game, sponsored by Modelo, the mark of a fighter. And here they are.
Yeah, for UConn, it has to start on the inside. And we've seen that already. They are making a concerted effort to go inside and then play out. And if you're Marquette, be disruptive. We know they love deflections, and they'll keep a board on the, one of the managers will have it, a whiteboard over there telling you how many deflections they have.
Slip by Reed, a good one, and the ball fake to go with it.
Boy, he is a load, and you gotta get a body just in front of him. Hard to make him uncomfortable because he knows how to carve out space early.
Oh, James on a blow-by against Demery. That's not easily accomplished, as good as Silas has been on the defensive side of the ledger. Caravan on that pop out. Oh, beautiful pass to Caravan. Unable to convert. And yet another recycle off an offensive rebound. And solo ball. Solo does. And it's 9-5.
So you cover Demery. You try to get to Reed. You try to get to Caravan. Oh, yeah. And by the way, number one solo ball from deep.
That'll be a block on Solo.
So recovering to shooters, easier said than done against UConn. You got to guard Caravan. That's Ross 2-on-1, really late cover, late close to ball. And a bunch of these guys, I would say it starts with Mullins, then Ball, then Caravan in terms of their quick release. If that ball's in their hand and you're not in front of them, it's too late.
As I mentioned, the foul does go against Ball. The one period of the year, Donnie, when I felt UConn had a bit of a lull was when Solo Ball was trying to find his way with Demery's existence, because he was new, and so much of what he was doing led to, I think, Solo's not being as effective. That's a beautiful inbounds look. And Royce Parham gets his first bucket.
And when you say hits the start button, again, Nigel James Jr. started that play out of bounds under to Parham.
Reed on a dribble drive.
How about that? He faked the pass or the handoff, kept the dribble alive. How many guys 6'9", 260 or whatever he is?
Oh! Going for the highlight.
Family and
folks at home, I must say, I'm always impressed when Donnie gives Danielle some love because he's probably been confused with Danielle most of his adult life. You're such a giver.
Everyone knows that I'm the one with the big mouth. I'm the Marshall with the big mouth. He's the quiet one, more subdued.
Mullins trying to work on goal, lost his dribble. Numbers now 4-on-2. Great recovery by Reed. At the outlet pass saved to James, and he lets it go from 3 and to no avail. Opportunity missed for Marquette. Mullins. Ooh. That one hung on the rim for quite a while. Solo ball has one go crying off the front iron.
Attention to detail is so important. This is where I think Marquette can get out and run a little bit, averaging almost 15 points a game in transition.
Gold tried for the majestic slam. Ross from downtown.
Just faded just a little to his left, but they're getting some good opportunities, Marquette.
See Chase with that harness on that left shoulder that's been banged up. These two seniors not only have played tough, but they played in pain. Both of them, a lot of guys would not be playing today as seniors with the injuries that they both encountered. Bone spurs and shoulder injuries. And then transition that particular season. They wound up playing Brad Stevens' Butler team, who had made the title game for the second consecutive year, losing to Duke in 10 and UConn in 11. Nigel James looking to motor it. Waits for some help, and he gets it from goal.
See, that's when I'd like to see Nigel James just keep getting downhill as the defense is on their heels. You got to be front-footed against UConn, meaning force the issue in transition, because now they get you in the half court, and they've done a really nice job of boxing guys in, throwing some switching in there defensively. They kind of square you up, and now leads to a turnover.
Dominance inside for UConn early on with points in the paint, rebounds to go with it. Caravan, they just know where one another are. This time it's knocked away, and it'll belong off the deflection to Marquette.
Good look to Ryba. He was just a little too deep, and sometimes, and he's gotten better as well as Mullins every single game, but sometimes as young guys, big youngs, you catch it and you're just behind or just even with the backboard, and you really have no room to work. If you can pause and catch it a foot into the paint a little higher, it gives you more room to work.
The Ryba entry into the game does change the look of the Huskies, particularly on the defensive end with Reed out. Not dissimilar really from the Sonogo days with Klingon. Ryba is developing and will get there, no question about that. But from the opposition's point of view, it does change your mindset a little bit in attacking the Huskies.
Yeah, you know, you can't really compare the two. I think obviously Ryba's much longer, so at the rim he's going to affect your shots probably just a little bit more than Terrace Reed in terms of length, but the body that Reed puts on guys wears you down, and Eric Ryba will get that. And he and Adrian Stevens were teammates in high school 3 years. Talked to him about that before the game. Saw them having some conversation.
Perimeter shots just not falling early. Stevens unable to connect that time. It's been over a couple of minutes since either team has scored.
Can you imagine playing against that high school team just with those two?
Absolutely. That would be difficult. And James going for the steal and bumps into Mullins. That's one of those giveaway fouls that you hate to see.
That's one, if you better get it if you're going to get it. But I would rather the foul up top than you whiff it, and now you know what whiffs are. I've seen your golf swing.
Had a few of those.
And then the guy rips through, and now he gets to the rim, and numbers are against you.
The whiffs were much worse in baseball in the 70s.
Oh,
I mean, oh, beautiful defensive recovery. Well done by Stevens.
Stealing that from his old teammate. That was going right to Ryba.
Demarius Owens playing with that mask after being hit in the head a couple of games back. Has that Rip Hamilton look out there, but he does hope to get it off at some point, but he's been a bit concerned after that head injury of his.
Something tells me that Adrian has been in this position before, seeing the ball go to Eric Riva and picks that off. Great anticipation there.
Owens, way too strong. And the rebound corralled by Jaden Ross. That's an unheralded player, Ross. He's had a good
by
year.
Stevens.
And now Ross, out of frustration.
Shoe up, but it also gives energy to your opponent. That's what's happened this last 4 or 5 minutes.
You know, a lot of guards through the years, Donnie, have told me, starting with Braylon back in the day, you know what, if you're a guard like Demery, the last thing you want to deal with is a guard that can get underneath you.
Yeah.
And that's what Nigel James does. Mullins, off the heel, Reed skies for the rebound. Boy, James is everywhere. I mean, hands of Velcro. He's grabbing and deflecting every pass that he can.
Royce Parham doing a nice job down low, fighting Reed, and then what is not talked about enough is ball pressure when the guards are making these simple passes inside.
James lost his footing, or Stevens lost his footing that time, created an avenue for Smith. And Malachi now throws it away.
You're afraid of the deflection, so that pass is a little bit outside of where it needs to be.
That's 6 turnovers now for UConn. This is a 7-0 spurt that Marquette's on.
The biting of the lips by Coach Hurley is restraint.
Yes.
That's what you see, and he understands better than any of us. This time of year, it's a sensitive time. You're all on the same page. You know what has to be accomplished, and you got to keep your guys even keel. You got to coach with emotion, but not be emotional.
Caden Hamilton in the game now for Marquette.
That's Alex Caravan jumping in there with those long arms. Solo ball as well. That's how you converge.
Demery's impact has been thwarted early on in this game. James has had a lot to do with that. Caravan off the feet inside, and there's a foul. Always, we've said, well, it's taken this long for Caravan to get in the scoring column, and yet he still makes the daggers at the end of all these games. I talked with Alex before the game. He's one of those guys you have to congratulate as you see James with an answer from downtown. Alex told me one day he'd love to coach once his playing career is over. And I'm just going to project 10, 15 years from now.
Yeah.
I could see him being announced as a UConn head basketball coach. I could see that happening.
All right. As long as he doesn't want to be a color analyst, I don't care what he does.
So the answer, Demery making his move.
Stay away from my chair, Alex. And I'm sure he could be great at that as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, he could. 17-15, Golden Eagles by a deuce. James, beautiful. Everything but the finish there. Ball has Mullins. Where you miss a perimeter jumper, and the Huskies will make you pay.
And it's so interesting because they're not a team that plays with pace, but they will take those opportunities and get out and run.
Cross off the bounce. Beautiful use of the ball fake. I thought he lost his dribble for a moment, but it actually helped him get started on his straight line drive. There's the dump down to Reed. He's already got more rebounds than Marquette as a team has. And you see those flashes to the basket. We're tied at 19.
And these are the situations here when the pace slows a little bit. Marquette just has to be sharp.
Ross in traffic. That's going to be a block, and balls up.
It continues to be one of those calls, Tim, that
Yeah, oh yeah.
you know, it's subjective at times.
It's a hard luck foul. That's going to be a moving pick against Gold. And that's number 2 on Big Ben Gold, which will make the look down the bench for Shaka pretty important, as he's going to get Parham up. and to the scorer's table. Next dead ball, he'll check in for number 12.
UConn's 3 of their last 3. Marquette needs to figure out how to get a stop. Good deflection there. Again, that's what they do. Hands in the passing lanes. Mirror the ball, as we say.
I dare say this is not a team that you would think only had 6 conference wins, Marquette, the way they're playing. Again, a beautiful move that time with the ball by Silas Demery. And the Raleigh, North Carolina native gives UConn the lead at 2, 21-19.
Staying patient in your defensive sets against UConn it has to be a priority, because they will play all the way to the 3-second mark on that shot clock.
Gold has to be careful. Nice runner off the window.
He's made one earlier, so now Reed pushes out. He puts it on the floor, which he's capable of, as you saw there.
Demery unable to bring it in. It'll stay on this end of the floor.
6 straight, Tim. So it's a UConn team that is fueled this year more than last, much more than last, by their defense.
Indeed. Of UConn's 9 field goals, 8 of them have been in the paint. So they've been living in the lane, and second chance points come that way as that one's knocked away again by Owens. He gets some love from his teammates over there. We were at practice yesterday. I was really interested in talking with Shaka because, this is the first time I've seen them this year, and the culture hasn't changed. The team's mentality hasn't changed. They practice like a team that had won more than 6 conference games. And now look today and how they're competing. Up against the clock, and the defensive job well done.
Message sent, message received by Marquette. Shaka Smart's guys step up out of a timeout. Hands. There's another deflection. And it's at 10. They track those deflections, which I've always said this. It should be on our stat boards. It should be an official stat, because it disrupts. It changes the complexion of games, not just of possessions. As you saw there, late in the clock, Marquette going the other way.
My question to him, if you recall, was you'll be in this game late if you do what? He began with deflections.
Yeah, it's really, again, as much as UConn has so many different parts to what they do to get going offensively, Marquette's similar. Deflections fuel what they do in terms of gaining possessions and giving themselves extra opportunities. And extending plays as well.
Parham from downtown. Off the heel, Ross collects it. Mullins, a 360 move, and the answer.
Mullins, good job playing through the contact. Might have got slapped on the arm, but the follow-up.
Boy, I tell you, James has just been all over the place. Second chance points remain at 7-love for UConn, but the answer's always coming from Marquette. They won't let them get away. We're tied at 23.
We've learned that when Nigel James Jr. is smiling when he's running back on deep, not a good thing for the opponent.
Caravan, that ball comes off dead off of the back rim.
It just means he's comfortable and having a little bit too much fun for the taste of the opponent.
Great defensive help.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just remarkable.
Nigel James Jr., we talked about, continues to be a force for this Marquette team. See that little grin, a little showing some teeth.
Shoot him some gleam, Nigel.
And Nigel James, he's an interesting player, we know that, but has had some big games for Marquette this season.
Owens that time, I think, was panicking when he didn't need to.
Nigel James has scored 30 points and dished out 12 assists in a game this year. That was against Xavier. The only other freshman to have 30 or more than 10 assists, A.J. Debonsa.
Wow.
Pretty good company.
That's pretty good company.
Of all the great freshmen we have in college basketball today.
Reed, no help coming, and he'll destroy that.
You gotta probably
dig, maybe come down a little.
Yeah. Fake like you're coming down. Maybe even come from behind where you can't see and be ready to recover with help. But
Parham lost it down low. Now he's fouled by Reed, and that's a giveaway foul.
watch the feet on the gather, and now the extension to go back up. A lot of happy feet down there, Tim.
Parham got one of the two, so it's a 1-point game with 5 and change remaining.
I'll keep that in my notes to give you John Gaffney afterwards.
I run into those guys at the airport all the time.
Got a great crew today.
We do.
Evans, Driscoll, and Gaffney. Good guys.
Demery a floater.
Look at him staying with it.
Yeah, gets it back out to Mullins. Never had the shoulder squared there. Rabba tied up by Gold, and that's a...
You just never want to give up the ball, even when the whistle is blowing. I love the fight.
Something to keep a note of is how this team plays UConn, particularly on defense when Reed is out of the game. They're -6 with him sitting.
Wow.
Mullins gets the pilfer and produces on the other end. 27-24. Hold back out there, sets that pick. Ross can't connect.
You'd love to see Chase Ross have one of those go down.
Caravan finding Ryba. The ball's on the deck. Look at that hustle.
Wow.
Human floor burn down there. Just tremendous work.
I just love the fight. This is the last game for each team of conference play, and they are diving for loose balls. This is a team, and Marquette has 6 wins in Big East. They're not playing like that. UConn is not playing like they're trying to get to next week. I love the fight both these teams are showing right now.
Well, that tells you, a guy like Ross with that harness on that shoulder, I mean, just throwing his body around. They want to get the most out of the college experience. In this day and time, we hear way too often about it not mattering, people not caring as much. Well, these young men do, and that's obvious with the performance we've seen thus far. They've gotten a little bit quick, Donnie, on the offensive end of late. They've turned it over, and we don't want to give UConn the last 4 minutes of the half after playing so well for so long. Mullins, look out. Oh, and discard underneath the basket. 50% of his free throws today. He's going to need to make all of the freebies today. You've got to be at your absolute best to beat the Huskies, and missed opportunities and live ball turnovers will kill you, and they've committed a few of those during this stretch that the Huskies have stretched their lead. Mullins, look at Ryba on the glass. Oh, the iron tantalizingly unkind. It hung for almost a half a minute, it appeared, for the Huskies. Now Marquette with a chance to convert. Off the bounce, a big one for Adrian Stevens.
And Shaka Smart is fired up. He's in a defensive stance. That one we've come to see so often when his team is fighting their way back into games, making great plays. Adrian Stevens, beautiful pull-up.
And the fan base across the way rises to attention here. Trying to fight off all of these offensive rebounds and second chance points. And Ryba gets another to fall along the baseline.
The thing about UConn that you're not going to do to them is you're not going to speed them up. You're not going to really make them uncomfortable. They play with such poise and such patience when they get into their sets.
Stevens. Oh, beautiful runner. And went crossover and behind the back. A little shimmy, shake, bake, take. And it's 33-29. See that perimeter ball pressure being extended by Marquette. Temery, just tough. When you need it, he makes the play.
He is a warrior. Just what the doctor ordered for UConn this season.
Ross in traffic again, nearly turned it over. Stevens a step back. And a foul. Assistant worked for Billy Donovan at one time in the state of Florida. I mean, his pedigree is incredible, and it is about family with him, no doubt about it.
No silly fouls if you're Marquette, and you got a gang rebound here. Try to dig this ball out. UConn's going to run their stuff all the way down.
Demery. Caravan keeping it alive, but he has his pocket picked by Parham. And yet somehow, some way, he makes an impact before the end of the game. He and Solo Ball together
combined
only one bucket.
Yeah, and then you throw in there, Braylon Mullins was 0 for 5 on threes. So good news, bad news for Marquette. You're only down 2, but their 3 studs, UConn, haven't been around.
Reed. Good idea to not put the ball on the deck. You get it there, keep it high, and lay it in, which he did. It's 37-33. Using the starting 5, same as before. That's an excellent defensive play by Demery, but it'll stay on this end of the floor.
This is a tone setter.
Yeah.
You know how the first half ended with energy in here, little brush screen there, a low kind of a pick and roll, if you will, pick and step, because he really didn't roll to the basket. That's a really nice play. It confuses the defense. Do you switch? Do you stay? And it also allows a guy like Reed to now have 2 feet in the paint when he catches that ball, and we know he's deadly when he gets it there.
There was a conversation between Pat Driscoll and John Gaffney. I think they thought about maybe changing the possession, but they did not. And here we go again with another pick. This is called, and it's turned over as Ben Gold gets his 3rd. So he becomes the first player
Tim, take
with
a look.
3.
This is another one of those plays you and I talked about off air about it's gotten sloppy in terms of the calls. Those hips sliding in, the late step. Great call right there. They got to clean that up. Players are going to start to get hurt.
Also critical, there's Reed one more time where he can devastate you. Goes reversal as Gold came over. I think it's even more important that this young man doesn't get a 3rd foul. I mean, James has got it, and he's going to be tagged by Mullins. But with, as much as he controls the ball, he cannot pick up an early 3rd foul, Nigel James.
Here's again, how do you guard this? They ran it twice now. It's a low pick and step. It's not even really a slip, because that's Reed catching it 2 steps away from Demery, who starts the post up. Communication has to be on point, on the ball, on the screen, but then on the weak side as well. Get there a little late, you pay.
Caden Hamilton has come in for Ben Gold. James going crossover again, and this fouled by, and Flemings of Houston. Think about that. That's some tall company. And by the way, they're both a lot taller than Nigel James. Acuff is just a wizard with the ball. Solo Ball can't connect.
Such a beautiful stroke he has, though. Every time it leaves his hand, it looks like it's going in. You're still trying to calibrate when you sat down with a couple of fouls. Only 10 minutes in that first half. Got to get going again if you're Solo Ball.
Stevens. Shot clock under 10. Nice pass inside to Hamilton, and he converts off the window pane. Dropping dimes when not scoring, Nigel James, and it's 39-37. Ball loves to get to that left hand. Disrupted that time. Ball is on the deck. Deflected off of UConn.
Into the paint. Now guys collapse, and it'll alleviate some pressure on those 3-point shots, but they are 1 of 11 UConn. And by the way, still up 2 points, Tim. So
James, beautiful pass. He knew where Hamilton was. We're tied at 39. Kaiser Forum sounding like it usually did a couple of years ago. And this team was vying for and winning Big East titles in ball with a silencer from downtown.
Look, you can't hope that Solo Ball continues to miss. You have to do things to make him uncomfortable. That was just a beautiful look. Again, one of the prettiest strokes in all of college basketball. Finally gets one to go.
In traffic. That one doesn't fall. So Parham, well defended inside. Reed is such a force. Solo again. And the rebound taken away by Stevens. Out of bounds as Silas Demery knocks it away.
You got to continue to pursue the basketball if you're on offense as well. Parham does a nice job. You know that Nigel James Jr. is going to draw a bunch of guys. You got to follow him up and help a teammate out. And boy, he is this team's inspiration. And then solo ball, this is his second. As I say, gets one to go because they've been struggling from there.
Oh, man. James can just get underneath you. Demery really frustrated that time. Like, this guy's like a water bug. I can't keep up with him. He sneaks into spots that other guys can't. 42-41.
You're taught in college basketball, especially low man wins. Ooh, good move by Demery. Don't show him everything, Silas. Woo!
He was for UConn today.
And Marquette is showing the temerity you need to play against the UConn team. They have not backed down. Finding some belief and playing with boldness.
Oh, that's a beautiful find. Off the heel, though, the Stevens aerial from downtown. It's a 2-point lead for Connecticut. Beautiful pass out of the post to Mullins, and he's still cold. And that's an over the back on Reed. And him on the floor, they're +8. With him on the bench, they're -6. So not having him right now, and that's not to disparage Ryba at all. He's going to be fine. But
a different look.
You would rather, if you're Marquette, see him out there than Terrace Reed. Stevens challenging the rim.
See, that's where I think Ryba affects the game differently for UConn in a positive way. He's so much longer than Reed. Even though Reed's a terrific defender, Ryba's length is disturbing.
Sort of the Klingon effect after he had gotten some experience with Sonogo. Yep. Sonogo was the returning player of the year, and that next year you really wanted to see more of Klingon than you did Sonogo.
That's right.
It's 45-41 as Ryba gets a bucket. Ross. And that's a 3-ball that they'll take from Parham. 32% on the season. And the Golden Eagles, plentiful from downtown, managing to stay in the game.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Look at that. It'll go the... No, and the same call was made against Ben Gold.
Yes.
Same exact call was made against him. And
it's just...
I know it feels like a root canal to Danny, but it was a good call.
But players have to be more... You got to be more fundamentally sound setting that pick up.
Look out. Parham filling it up. They stand on their feet as Marquette gets the stop and looks to extend the lead, something they've been unable to do all afternoon. Mullins is 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. Look out. Oh, a ball fake and a beauty. Oh, Parham putting it on the deck and making them smile. It's an 8-0 run. It's a timeout. Listen to them.
Huge plays. That's why he leaves him on the floor.
Did you notice Nigel James got an extra minute and 13 seconds coming out of that timeout? Smart move by Shaka, because he's going to need him on the deck the rest of the way, and that's a tie ball.
Demery.
And it'll stay on this end because of the alternating possession, but Demery right there.
Another part of the game I think needs to be adjusted by the rules committee. This is such great work defensively. Let's jump this ball up.
Yeah.
I'm so over that possession arrow, Tim. Leave it in the hands of the players.
Agreed.
Jump it up.
Look out. No help. There's James. Oh, the iron unkind. And it's pulled down by Reed.
But the boys in baby blue are standing on the perimeter. No crashing there. You got to crash and try to get that offensive rebound.
That ball was deflected. And it belongs to Marquette. Well, these turnovers now are really adding up for UConn. Very, very outside the norm. 4 turnovers in the last 5 trips for the Huskies. That's just in this half. 6 overall. And those deflections have played a major role in it.
Yeah, they have. They just disrupt. They change things. Even if you don't get the ball back in a possession, you still shortens the clock, puts the offense on their heels.
Stevens, he lost his dribble for just a second, had to give it up to James. Reed with the rebound.
That's the one part of his game he's going to continue to get better at and find more confidence from behind the arc, Matthew James Jr. Not that he can't make them, but that rate has got to be higher as he gets older.
Ball goes Euro. Great recognition defensively by Stevens to Sky for that rebound. James threatening that drive, but Demery cuts him off.
Like that corner 3.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, that's the confidence. He does shoot 37%. He's going to, it's not a high rate for him. He doesn't shoot a lot of them. But I tell you what, that 3-ball corner pocket is a much more confidence-building 3 than at the top. Love that. Continue to shoot it. Numbers are numbers.
Oh, Stevens got his hand in there again looking for a pilfer. This is now a 14-2 run. I can't remember the last time I said that against a UConn team in the second half.
Listen, he's taken about 106 threes this season, Nigel James Jr. So he's in a position to be able to shoot more and more of those. He's just going to continue to get better, but I love those 3 balls, corner pockets for guys.
Well, Connecticut needs a bucket here.
They do.
They've gone 5 minutes without a field goal.
And this is the kill zone is what Marquette calls it. One more stop here.
Ball, tough shot. Danny Hurley now knows this Marquette team with only 6 wins is playing I can't drive 55 basketball today. And look at those turns. And this building's already made a lot of noise. The explosion, if they score here and get a double-digit lead, could be incredible. We are Marquette. They strike up the chant.
Terrific individual defense right here. Good switch.
James in traffic.
Travel.
Yep.
That's
right over the wall.
Great defensive set there because of the switching, the communication between Demery and Mullins. And that's when you want a little hesitation, see what they do. Now you turn the corner. But I love the energy that Nigel James Jr. is playing with right now. And you called it earlier, Tim. Sometimes you gotta live with those mistakes that may happen. They can afford it right now. They got a nice little cushion here, but got to be wary of UConn.
Mullins, who's gone 0 from downtown. Caravan without a field goal. Ball is only warmed up somewhat today. Caravan. Oh, that's a diabolical miss. The ball halfway down the cylinder and out. The net, by the way, has closed at the UConn basket. They'll have to stop play here with the basket now in the position it's in. At least I thought they might. Perhaps not. You look at the basket. Caravan got so much of the net before it closed. Another near steal, and that's a foul on James, and that's big. And the crowd knows it. And they have now repaired the net.
That's great restraint by Greg Evans because this call came and Hurley was calling that before it happened. And
ooh, that's a lot of ball.
You can see why the crowd doesn't like it.
And I think Shaka had an argument. People wonder the message that coaches love to send. Mullins off the heel. And the rebound collected to Ross.
Yeah, shots are now 3-point shots are very deep. Caravan, Mullins, those are outside of NBA range because the defense is pushing them out. Got to continue to try to get that ball inside. We haven't said Terrace Reed's name in a while for UConn.
We could be watching the greatest regular season upset of the year in the Big East today. It's a 7-minute UConn drought. James just threw that one up. Every loose ball to Marquette. And that is a storm the court. And the Wildcats went on to win it all. And this UConn team is certainly one of the teams that could win it all.
Yeah. And this UConn team's 4-1 since Wojciechowski was the coach here.
That's right.
On this floor.
Look at that. Stevens again on the deck. But a return to sender by Demery.
Need it.
Mullins.
Got it.
Big time. Remember that play. 61-52. Huskies can make up a lot of ground in a short span of time. Just too much in their arsenal. Oh, look out. What a move. He did not get the jumper to go, but it was a beautiful move to set up the three for James. And there's a foul against Parham. Give Demery so much credit for not giving up on this play, because if this steal turns into a bucket, it is going to be a real tough hill to climb.
Really nice job by Stevens getting that deflection. You get to the floor, you're trying to throw it up ahead so you can live with those aggressive plays, but Mullins in the right place, right time.
Both teams now with 16 fouls, so we go to the bonus on the next personal foul for either team. Mullins. That's going to be an over the back on Demery.
It's your turn now. You got to grab it and go with it. Lead us.
When teams arrive at MSG next week, and Shaka Smart is interviewed, he'll be saying, we just wish the season were a little longer.
Right? Yeah.
Regardless of the outcome today, I mean, they are playing at their peak level.
A little 3-2 zone here. And now they get back to that 2-3.
Ooh, a near pick. And a foul afterwards against Ross. Possession, if you can get past the pressure in your backcourt. James looks for the rack. Gold! Oh, what a golden moment for the senior! The first second chance points come at just the right time. Now another steal. Numbers for Marquette.
I don't think you need to be in a hurry if you're Marquette right now.
If they hold on and win this game, do you think the shot in the paper tomorrow of that slam by Gold might make it past the editor? Wow. 2 and change left.
Got to go fast here. A little bit faster if you're UConn.
They tied it up.
Jump ball.
Yep. It does stay down here.